So the capacity to let things go is, first of all, a matter of practice, a matter of direction, a matter of habit, a matter of willingness, and basically it's really devotional. So the underpinning of any spiritual practice is devotion, the willingness to surrender all to God, and that's what gives us its power. With practice, it becomes habit. With practice, it becomes habitual. You let go wanting to change it. I was talking out back about being stopped by a cop at 1 o'clock in the morning on 89A. We were the only ones on the whole highway. Nobody's out there at 1 o'clock except me and this squad car behind me. And I figure, I'm looking at my speedometer, I'm thinking, I'm going 40. Why is this guy tailing me? So finally he pulls me over, flashes his lights. And I said, what can it be? He says, you're weaving. Weaving? What is weaving? He says, you're going back and forth over the yellow line. And I'm thinking, we're the only people on the whole highway. What am I going to do? Stay in my lane? There's nobody else here but me. So he says, are you drinking? I said, no, I haven't had a drink in 40 years. So he says, you take dope? Smoke stuff? I said, no. You willing to take a so-and-so test? I said, sure. He says, walk this yellow line. I walked this yellow line. He said, I know, there's still something wrong with you. And he's scratching his head. He said, well, what do you think's the matter with you? And I said, you want me to be truthful? He says, yeah. I said, I don't feel like I'm really in my body. He said, good God, he says, I've had this exactly the same experience. So help me, it was an actual experience. I'm swearing this to God, and if he gives me a ticket, he gives me a ticket, so let it be. He said, gosh, he said, I'm really glad to have met you. And then I told him I'm a doctor and a psychiatrist and all, and that gave him really more firepower. And I tell him, I go out of body. I said, if I don't remember to come back in it, I can wander off because, if you're wandering across in the middle of the night, you're not thinking about what you're doing. So anyway, he was greatly relieved. He said, this worried me for years. He said, now I know what it is. I said, you just will yourself to be back in the body, and bang, you go back. He says, terrific, So we left the best buddies, shook hands, hugged. So, one sign of being out of your body is you weave. But he was really a nice officer. He really was. He said, I really have been worried about that, and here he found somebody he could ask about it. And I said, you're not connected with your body space, which is one problem that you have when you're first going into certain higher states. You don't know where your body is in space. It's very difficult to navigate because that which is the central controller is gone. See, everything you do is oriented from some imaginary space somewhere in the middle of your head. When that disappears, where you are in space is not all that clear at all. It's still not all that clear very often.